Good morning and welcome back to my corner of the internet and the University of Toronto. We have lovely, lovely, lovely Trinity College right behind me. And ironically, actually, I think a year ago today, I announced on YouTube that I was accepting my offer to study my PhD here, right in this very spot. This September, I'll be starting my PhD. What? I'm currently at the University of Toronto, and this is where I'll be working towards becoming Dr. Vic over the next 5 years. So this is very full circle. But if you're new here, my name is Vic, and I am a PhD student in political science, particularly studying international relations and environmental studies here at U of T. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you along as I study for my comprehensive exam, which is a 5-hour exam set to test my entire knowledge of the field of IR. It's a lot. Today's May 1st, and we're about 14 days out from this exam, and it's been a lot to manage mentally and emotionally as someone who has ADHD, who fears exams. But today we are just taking one step closer to crushing this exam and towards our PhD candidacy, and I'm bringing you along for that. So let's get into it, and welcome back to the Doctoral Diaries. What this exam will look like. Didn't commit vehicular manslaughter. Is it? Ew. Oh yeah, and welcome to the Doctoral Diaries. Unfortunately, I'm parting ways with Trinity and on my way to Robarts, which is U of T St. George's largest library. I think it has like 12 floors. It's a machine for sure. She's a mammoth and I love her. I don't really go here often, but I'm actually meeting a dear friend, Ozan, who is also studying for a comprehensive exam. He actually wrote IR last year and is now doing comparative politics this year. So it's always nice to study with someone who knows what you're going through, who gets the fear, the pain, but the excitement as well. And it's just always so fun hanging out with him. So I'm on my way there right now. I can see Robarts right in front of me and I will bring you inside. This is so random, but I have new glasses, as you can see. The glasses that I wore previously were actually just for stylistic purposes. Like, I just wore them for blue light protection, but also because I love to represent myself in the glasses that I wear. But then I started to realize that maybe I actually can't see. Maybe this isn't just a personality trait, this is a physical defect. I went to the eye doctor and she was like, you need to start wearing glasses to drive. And so these are my prescription glasses. So, yeah. And then I was driving the other day at night and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crystal clear. Where have these glasses been my whole life? And then I took my glasses off and I saw what I was seeing before. And it is actually one of the biggest mysteries of life, how I didn't commit vehicular manslaughter. I don't know. Everyone is safe now. My eyes have been tamed. You're good. You're welcome. Thank you to Dr. Haji. Welcome to Robarts. That's just one half. There she is. So beautiful. Thank you to whoever Robart is and his library for being here and supporting me during this emotionally challenging time. I'm going to go in and try to find Ozan. Oh, I will always do this wrong. There you go. Escalator number 1. I'm actually running late, which I hope he doesn't hate me because I couldn't find my keys this morning and I also have a raging hole in my sock that has just been eating away at my subconscious. When you just know that your foot is touching your shoe. I'm still uncomfortable. Okay, another escalator. Spotted. Okay, so usually the night before I'll create a list of things that I have to study for the next day. So this is my list, which I can refer to as my May 1st hit list. The goal today is to study 2 weeks of information on international political economy, and then we'll practice outlining, which I can explain later. Okay, let's get into it. easily talk about this stuff all day. I'm gonna talk out my immigration and backlash readings to you. Bear with me. Core theme of these readings in general is to look at how international economic integration affects the politics or the policies regarding immigration. Next is Goodman and Popinski, 2021, but their argument essentially was that economic liberalism wasn't about liberty for everyone, it was specifically domestic people and workers.
Is that the exclusionary, inclusionary piece?
Yes.
I would mention those terms.
Okay. Exclusion. Pizza time. I should have.
Well, you can still make the switch. Political theory is adjacent.
Is it? I won't.
You should talk to Armin.
I know. I think we did one time and I was like, I think I did the wrong thing. We are back in robarts from our break. We are now going to, and by we I just mean me, we do a recall quiz on immigration and backlash. So those are 5 articles, making sure that I know all of the details and the arguments. And then I will read through my responses, check any blind spots, and then move on to money and financial crises. Let's do it. This is my recall quiz. It'll usually be like a set of questions about assumptions that the article makes or its key arguments. You don't really look at the empirical evidence that much, but just some of the details about the article that are important to recall and know. I will put all of these questions into a Notion sheet, and I will type everything that I can remember to try to respond to the question. And this helps me, again, to kind of blurt, to recall things, and then even find some of the gaps after the fact when I mark it to see kind of what did I miss, what keyword should I have used, etc. So it's really helpful when I do this after every set of the readings to kind of solidify and put things into long-term memory. Hopefully it's been working, so hopefully it continues to do that. Friggin' hit the hay. I'm so tired. I don't like international economics. I'm making any fucking sense. You're gonna get a bunch of questions on the way to the subway. Oh, she is so zoomed in. Damn. Hi friends, I am now home. I have returned from my pupillage for knowledge in IR, and I've made it safe, and I can say that some knowledge has been acquired. I don't even know if that's the term, but it is now. And I was gonna vlog actually me leaving Robarts with ozone, but then we were blessed with some torrential downpour, and I chose to opt for my Crocs today, not knowing that this event of weather was going to happen. I wanted something that was just gonna be like low-key, not going to stimulate me in any single way, and then it ended up absolutely stimulating me. Puddles of things just like flowing through my socks and Crocs. It was so fantastic, in addition to the hole in my sock already. Anyways, on the way home, I actually used Quizlet. If you're not familiar with it, it's kind of like an app where you can use flashcards or study decks and like outlines to be able to recall information. For any other exam, any normal person exam, I would just be a regular average Joe on the subway. Like I would never be studying on the subway. But this exam actually requires something that I don't, A, like succeed at quite often, and B, that I don't agree with. And it is essentially, you have to memorize not only the authors, but the year of publication. And there are about 200 articles that we are reading and memorizing. So there's a lot of numbers, and they don't have like any significance to them. You just have to be able to just pair numbers. And if you don't know, I have ADHD and dyscalculia, so I'm terrible with numbers. Like, you can show me a number and like I will repeat back to you what it says and it will not be the same number. Like, it'll be something completely different. But anyways, my hope is that with Quizlet, I just kind of get like more exposure to the information and I'm able to practice it every single day, and so that with time it'll get better. Honestly, like, there's some traditional like IR theorists that it's so easy to like remember their name, their year, because it corresponds with many of the big discussions that we've had in class, or world events that happened and that these articles are responses to. But when it comes to like the more recent IPE stuff, like everything seems to be published in freaking 2017. And like, honestly, if I draw a blank on that exam, I'm just gonna say 2017 because everybody was publishing in that year. Like, what were y'all doing? Huh? I was in high school. Anyways, ew. Okay, so what's on the plan for tonight? I don't really like to work late into the evening because I am not really trying to burn myself out. But that being said, sometimes I feel like I have the mental energy and I find more comfort in just doing like one more exercise for the night. So today I'm going to be doing an outline practice. Actually, let me tell you like what this exam will look like briefly. So on May 15th, I will walk in and I will sit down at a desk and I will have a document of questions in front of me. Some questions will be about, you know, traditional IR theory, and some questions will be about IPE. I will have some choice in what I'm allowed to answer, but then also there is going to be some mandatory questions that I'm going to have to pick from. I will have 5 hours to answer those questions. Each response should be around 1,500 to 2,000 words. Honestly, so many people just write until their brain runs dry, which is good. But for the most part, this is also an argumentative exam. So you do need to have some argument that you're trying to convince the reader of. And you can do this by using all of the sources, you know, the 200 that I mentioned, to make that case. Outlining is this idea that you're going to walk into that exam, you're going to spend some time picking the questions you think you can best answer, and then you're going to create a literal like skeleton of everything that you're going to write in that essay response. And you do this upfront because it makes you feel more secure, like you feel like you already know what you need to write, you just need to write it. And it also helps with navigating, okay, like, I knew the authors, I know the years, and now I can just let that leave my brain, and now I can just think about the concepts. So outlining is a tool that you want to practice before you go into the exam because it takes stamina. Hi, Romeo. It takes stamina. It takes like this like mental agility to jump between different paradigms and readings. And once you get really good at that, you kind of start to notice which articles you know best, which articles you need to revisit. And it's all about kind of just like learning and preparing for that exam. It's just how my school does it. Not every school does it this way, but yeah, it's one of those things that you got to get through it to be able to become a candidate. And this is the only one that I ever have to do because I am only doing one like traditional field. So I just need to make it through this one time. I only want to do it one time. If I fail, I can rewrite it in August. But I never said this, but I'm actually going to Thailand 2 days after my exam. So the goal is to really just grind it out, perform my best, hopefully pass, and then never have to think about this ever again. But yeah, that is the situation. I'm gonna outline. I just want to know how I'm supposed to study when like this beautiful, majestic creature is staring at me like that. Hi, Romeo. You're so beautiful. Yeah. I was able to accumulate all of the exam questions from the previous years. We have questions on like the theoretical paradigms and how they interact with one another, questions about power and anarchy, norms, ideas, and socialization, and all of these. So I already did a question. My first outline was on theoretical paradigms, so I'm going to move over to power and anarchy. But as you can see, there is a lot of questions that always tie back to this, so I can imagine that I will be receiving a question about paradigms, which, lucky for me, is my jam. But let's answer this question here. We're going to do the first one from Power and Anarchy, and I will keep you updated. Check in for step one. Step one is breaking down the question. I've gone in and underlined parts of the question that I need to pay particular attention to, and I've created like a very basic outline and paragraph structure for how I would go about doing that. So let me show you this. So we start off with the fact that there are multiple dimensions of power in our world today, and they have often different kind of definitions. So I've grouped paradigms based on the different types of powers that they discuss. And then the second half will be me arguing which I find more useful. So I don't really have an answer to this right now. I think my answer will most likely be that it's important to have a nuanced understanding of power that is a combination of all of these. But for the most part, I am just going to see what I happen to know. Oh, you're zoomed in. What I happen to know about this, and then make a decision and run with it for the final section. So that is step one. Let's get into plugging in the authors and the years and their contributions.